sally forth into the yugioh, upon which we shall be planting the banner of the current kingdom in the name of the Lord. And ladies upon the YouTube, it is I, Sir Memphis, noble knight errant of the current kingdom, welcoming thee once more to the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh, upon which every day for 100 days we shall be dueling with a different deck upon each and every day. Today is the 55th day of the 100 days, and I have returned once more to show off a deck that is most pleasing to myself, or it is the Heraldic Beast deck. A deck focused around cards based around the symbols of different countries. Of course, in the current kingdom, we have our own symbol. It is this one right here. It's a most beautiful symbol indeed. Well, it'll be on our sleeves for today, but we will be showing forth this deck, showing off the heraldic beasts and summoning out them with our combos and our wombos, our what's do's and what have not do's. And we shall be having ourselves a most pleasant time. Thanks to Mr. The Hero Hut, which sounds very much like a guild of heroes, upon which I would be the best hero, of course. But that is the here nor there. But so we shall be showing off today's deck. We shall be showing it off against many opponents and planting our flags in their backs once we have vanquished them. So, of course, if thou wish to know what cards are upon our deck, it shall be at the end of today's festivities. Until then, prepare thyself to join the current kingdom by smacking all the buttons below. See? You do this. You click the buttons and then you do the liking and the commenting and joining of the current kingdom. So, let us join forth now. Enough has been said. Let us stride forth and show off what this deck can do. Well, my lords and ladies, I welcome you to the first joust of the day. Another day and another joust. Going first is the best with this deck. For while we can go second, its first turn plays are the best. Although this hand isn't the best necessarily, we shall summon forth our heraldic stand whale. If this monster is upon my board, I can discard one of the cards from mine hand. And let's see here. I shall rid myself of the node for now. If I don't have everything from the Ryzeal monsters, I might as well get rid of one. You know, that is ultimately the best combo when going first. If I start with an Ryzeal monster, I shall be hit with the Ass of Blossom. I see. Stopping me from summoning creatures. As one would expect, I suppose. However, I am not perturbed, for I have my charged heritage spell already in hand. This allows me to summon forth 2 heraldic beasts, straight from my deck to mine board. So I shall summon forth mine griffin, and a Leo monster. That way I might still perform mine exceed summon. We shall summon forth our first monster, the number 69, the heraldic crest. Now, for some reason, Lord Memphis told me that many of the people of this land find the number 69 humorous. I'm not sure exactly why, but I guess it is there. The number 69 is upon the board. So now we shall be summoning out another 69 monster, which is this one, the Shattered Scream. So put it in defense mode. But basically how this card works is if my opponent attacks it, or if they activate a monster's effect upon that board, I might switch this monster for an even larger, more terrifying creature. So we shall set ourselves a card from our hand. And I can activate my advanced heraldry spell as well. But I'd rather save that for my next turn. Yes, I find this is a better card when my opponent is coming up against me. But we have ourselves a start here. I have my numbers protection trap. Basically, if my opponent attempts to activate a card, I can negate that card. Let's see, exactly like this. Exactly like that, indeed. So I shall stop your impermanence trap card. You shall not be stopping mine Shatter Scream so readily. So now what can you do? My monsters upon my board, you have the Stratos monster. Let's see. And this will add you another card. Well, no, in fact, you will still be able to do that, but I will summon out mine monster. I summon forth the Heraldic Crest of the Dark Matter Demolition, which is a rather fiendish-looking monster. However, its hands do look like lances, so I must assume this is some sort of a knight from another world or something. Something of the like. Anyway, my opponent is summoning forth another monster indeed. The Vision Hero Ferris, you say. I shall be using my creature's ability. By detaching a material from my monster, I can change the name of my opponent's monster to Unknown. And any monster with Unknown in its name will have its effects negated. As it stands, I shall summon forth another Stag Whale to my hand, thanks to my Leo monster. And that will stop my opponent from using this monster's abilities. Very good. Now granted, he still has other cards he can do. But let's see if that will do him any good or not. Because now his monster is no longer a hero like the others. Will that matter? I'm not certain. But if it does matter, then he's in a bit of trouble here. Bit of trouble here indeed, as my opponent doesn't know what to do with this unknown creature of theirs. Very well, so you do have something you can summon for. Very well, what does it do? See, you can summon a fusion monster. I see. You do have some bite left to you. Very well, so we shall summon for Elemental Sunrise. I see. Targeting cards in the field and destroy it. Well, unfortunately for you, my monster cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So it really doesn't matter that much what you do with that. Not especially. Also, something's wrong with the device I'm using to control the computer. It's going slowly for some reason. Go faster. Go faster. Alright, what is this? Destiny Hero Plasma. That is rather unfortunate. Let's see. That is rather unfortunate indeed. Luckily, I have gone into my own impermanence trap card, so it really doesn't matter what you do. So I shall be doing that, your monster loses its abilities, and I shall not be perturbed, for I shall summon forth my monster yet again. Yes. Summoning forth my two creatures again, so that I would say, well, we got ourselves a lot granted to us by God and country. Indeed. So let us summon forth the 69th monster yet again. As we do. And my opponent has surrendered. Such cowardice indeed. First you attempt to stop all my monster's abilities, and the minute yours is stopped, you would surrender? You do not even deserve to have the flag of the Curry Kingdom planted in your back. But I'll gladly do it either way. So, you get an idea, my lords and ladies. This is what our deck is attempting to do. We're trying to summon out of the 69th monster. And we did. We summoned out of the 69th monster and the other two. So, let us continue forth. We shall summon out more cards against my opponent. We have other cards we can play, and that will be the focus of the second duel. My lords and ladies, however, into the second joust of the day. It's time to boldly strike forth once more and win glory and honor for the king. And with this hand, we shall do exactly that. For I have opened up with my most powerful card, which is the Ryzeal monster. With this monster is summoned forth, it will search another monster, and because of the Patriarch sent to my grave, I shall send two more heraldic monsters from my deck to the graveyard. You know, normally in a family, when the Patriarch dies, it's a sad thing. But in this family, it's a good thing, which is odd, but what can I say? But our Leo will activate its effect. In this particular instance, I shall search for my unicorn simply because I already have my whale. I think that will work just as well. So this is the part which will get a little complicated, so pay attention to this. We shall summon forth our Sword Ryzeal monster, which will add our last Ryzeal monster from our deck to our hand. And we shall summon forth our Duo Drive. So summon this monster. We want to put it in the extra zone here, which I almost never use, but in this case it's very important. We shall remove ourselves our materials from our monster, searching our trap and another copy of my Ryzeal monster, more importantly getting the trap card. And from there, we shall summon forth all of our monsters from our hand. We need to do this in a certain order, otherwise it will not work at all, so pay attention. Let's see. I have two advanced heraldry arts. I only need the one. I do need to get rid of one of my cards, but this will work just as well. So we'll get our Ice Ryzeal monster, and we're going to summon four. I mean, I don't really need to do this, but at the same time, why not? We shall summon forth our Stag Whale, discarding our unicorn here to search out more cards. In this case, we'll get our Heraldry Flash and my augmented heraldry spell. Very good. So we shall activate our field spell, the augmented heraldry here. We shall activate as well our advanced heraldry art spell. Now we do need to do this before we make our other Ryzeal monster. It's very important to do this. Absolutely vital. We shall summon forth our 2 monsters. And summon forth the 69th monster. We shall put it over here. You see, if I summon forth my Ryzeal too early, it will be negated because the 69th monster, it does not really care about its allies as much. Quite a devilish creature, I suppose. But not in the literal sense, of course. It's not like a creature of Satan or anything. It's more the fact that it's not user-friendly at times. But we shall summon forth our detonator monster. We shall attach another card to ours as a material, so we shall get our heraldry patriarch here. Shall set forth 2 of the cards from my hand, like so. And from that will be basically the best combo our deck can muster. It is quite a good one. I have mine Scream if my opponent attempts to do a monster's effect. I have mine Detonator, which can detach a material and destroy up to 3 cards. I also have mine Trap to destroy up to 2 more. So, quite a good hand here. Quite a good one. Let's see here. Let's see. No, I don't think I want you to do whatever this is. I shall destroy your field spell. What does this do? Becomes a sarcophagus. I'm not sure what that card does, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use my Patriarch again on my opponent's turn. Sending 2 more monsters from my deck to the graveyard. It doesn't really matter which 2, but I usually send mine Griffin. But it's easy to summon it back from my graveyard. Very good. So now what can my opponent do? Let's see. Burial of Fools, you say? Very well. What does that do? Of course, I already know. Okay, what is that? Imseti Gloria. Is that a Karibo? I love Karibos. Of course I do. They're the symbol of the Curry Kingdom. Our king is a Karibo as well. So there you go. So what is it doing? Level 8 monster. I see. Very well. What does this do? Horus cannot be destroyed by card effect. Send a card. Horus monster battles. I don't think I want you to have that. I could be very wrong, but I don't think I want you to have that at all. So I just remove my sarcophagus. Oh yes, I think I've played this. Have I played this card before? I feel like I have. Perhaps I did, perhaps I didn't. Past victories, you know. You forget the small details. What does this do? Let's see. Monster declares an attack. Target spell trap controls. Negate the attack. Destroy that card, you say. Oh. This is going to be the most difficult part of all this. I have to destroy my opponent's Karibo. It is not what I like to do, but my opponent, well, he'll surrender at this point because I've destroyed everything they wanted, but yes, I was forced to destroy a Karibo. But it was being used for evil. You have to understand that. We shall mourn it, of course. I declare that there shall be at least 3 days of mourning for that Alpha Karibo, and there shall be much feasting and jousting and celebration of its life and its successes. But regardless of that, let us go forth into the 3rd joust of the day. Perhaps we'll do a 4th. We'll see how it goes. So far it's been, well, relatively quick, so we'll see how it goes. There, my lords and ladies, I welcome you to the 3rd joust of the day. And I'm feeling scissors. Clearly that was wrong. But regardless of that, what does our opening hand look like? It's quite a good one. I have mine Heraldic Flash. I have mine Ryzeal monster. We're up against the... what is this? Some sort of gargoyle or something? I'm not certain. But my opponent is summoning forth something here. Interesting indeed. See, send a card, add a World Legacy's monster or orchestrated babble. Interesting. The World's Crown. The only crown that matters is the crown of King Karibo. For it represents his divine right sent by God to rule over the land. But regardless, what is this? Giruzu the Mech Knight monster. Sending another card to the graveyard. Let's see. Back this card, send the Dark Machine monster. Monster gains attack power. Alright. Interesting, I suppose. Not entirely sure what my opponent's up to, but it seems to be quite a bit of combo and wombo in of itself. So we shall summon forth another automated doll. Very well. He's shuffling a banished machine. Oh, okay, so that's why you bothered making your monster stronger. I see. Interesting. The monster was summoned from the X deck, activates its effects, strip this card, negate. Okay, I'm just reading what this card does. It seems to be a card meant to destroy extra deck monsters. I'm not quite a fan of that, but I can also understand, for the Ryzeal monsters are quite potent. They're quite potent indeed. And so, of course, our number 69, what is this? Okay, what was the point of the crown then? Anyway, I'll target a banished card, add to the hand. Shuffle a card from the hand into the deck, take control of a monster. Very well, interesting enough. I'm not entirely certain what my opponent's attempting to do at this point, but he's certainly summoning out quite a few monsters. I can't deny that, although I wish I'd been going first against this. But I would have been able to do so much more to interrupt my opponent. This is why I like to go first with this deck. It's so much better. Very well. Dingirzu. I've seen this creature once before, I think. Yes. Yes, indeed. Alright. My opponent has summoned forth quite a few cards. Cannot deny. Very well. So now let us go forth. We shall activate our bonfire spell to summon out another X Ryzeal from our deck. Yeah, my opponent doesn't know I have this, of course, so that way we'll be good. We'll get our Ice Ryzeal monster here. Then search either or, and let's summon forth our monster by sending our patriarch to the grave. That will activate both of our monster's effects. And yes, so our Ryzeal monster will activate its effect. Our patriarch will use its effect. And we'll see where it goes from here. It's going to be an interesting one. The good thing is, the 69 monsters are actually made to go up against other Exceed monsters. So my opponent having this is actually a good thing. It's actually quite good indeed. So now what can my opponent do? That is the question. I have cards to recover if he does decide to stop my cards. Very well. So stop mine X Ryzeal. Very well indeed. Let's see here. We'll send our usual culprits to the graveyard. And we shall go ahead and set another card. Indeed, indeed. So let us get forth our Stadwale. Very good. So far, so good. Let's activate the effect of our Stadwale. Let's see. I don't want to be pointed to this if I can help it. I have a feeling that would be a bad thing. Let's go ahead and send one of our cards to our grave. Doesn't really matter which one. And let's see. Very good. I shall get two more of my cards. Let's get our Advanced Heraldry Art spell. And in this case, perhaps I should get my Augmented Heraldry. I think that might be a good idea, actually. I think that would work just fine. I don't want him to willy-nilly target my cards, so that's what we shall do. Our Augmented Heraldry Field spell. So if this is another impermanence trap, it won't work on our Exceed monsters anymore. Quite good indeed. Let's see here. Oh, he's doing something. Shuffle a card from the hand of the deck. Take control of the face-up monster opponent controls. Very well. Luckily, I have recovery from that. So what would they steal from me, perchance? What would they steal from me? Hard to say. He's stealing my whale. I don't appreciate that at all. Not at all indeed. Let's see here. So activate our Griffin's ability, sending our Unicorn to the graveyard. Very good. So summon forth our Griffin. And unfortunately, I can't summon except with my heraldic beast now, which is not ideal, but it is what we have. So let's activate our Advanced Heraldry Art spell, reviving two of my monsters from my graveyard and using them as materials. Very good. So we shall summon forth our Leo, we shall summon forth our Griffin, and let us go forth into our number 69, as we are wont to do. We summon forth our Crest, and whenever this is summoned, just negates all of our opposing Exceed monsters. I see. You shall negate my card. Let's see here. It's not much point in that, I suppose. Very well. I suppose I could have also put another Ryzeal on the board at this point. But that would have required me to send one of my cards to the grave, so hard to say, hard to say. Very well. And then this is going to do something as well. All right. Well, my opponent is quite the magnificent mechanical doll of a monster. Quite a good training dummy, indeed. We shall use it to train up future knights of the Current Kingdom. I'm sure Marcus and Philip and Boaz would love it. As such, let's see. Summon forth my Twins of the Eclipse monster. But that would require me to use up my monster, so I shall not be doing that. Instead, I shall summon forth my other number 69 monster. To mine board, indeed. And we'll see where this is going to go here. You've activated a monster's effect to make your monster stronger and all that. Very well. Sending whatever that is to the graveyard. I don't know what that is. Link monster, target face of card control, the face of card opponent control to destroy them both. Well, I'm not exactly a fan of that. Very well. Alright. Well, my opponent has done quite a bit, but now it's finally our turn. Let us boldly stride forth on our shadow screen. We'll see where this is going to go. So I can start destroying my opponent's card. Let's see here. Use your serious monster. However, now I can use my Shadow Scream's ability. So now, we shall go ahead and summon forth our Dark Matter Demolition. That's right, my monster will not be destroyed by whatever this is. Correct. Now, granted, you can remove material and all that good stuff, but that's fine by me. Let's go ahead and attach one of our own materials, like my Leo here. I will get back my whale in a moment. So, this isn't as much a threat to me anymore. I don't think many of these are a threat anymore, but we'll go ahead and use this on his Link monster. Unfortunately, I can't put that into defense mode or anything, which would have been nice, but at this rate, it will at least stop his monster from using its effects. It's a start. Very good. So that will stop him from using his monster's effect. Its name has been changed. And let me think. I think that's quite fine indeed. And I could summon out my Ryzeal monster, but this is fine. Let us strike our opponent a blow. I think that they have been waiting long enough for us to actually do the battling and all that good thing. No battling has actually happened thus far. Quite an odd duel, A lot of back and forth of I will play this and thou shalt play that. Such is how it goes in this world sometimes. In the Current Kingdom, there would have been at least 5 battles by now. At minimum. Alright, so let's see here. I don't want to destroy my own whale, do I? Not especially. In this case, let's remove this monster from the board. It will be banished when it leaves the field. That'll be a good thing to start off with. Indeed. Remove that monster from my opponent's board, or does he... Alright, he decided to protect it. Very well. Actually, I shall destroy the stat whale. My reasoning being that if I get this back, he'll have a clear shot at my life points. I'd rather not have that. Alright, so let's just end our turn in a moment. Let's see. I could revive monsters for another Exceed summon. But I feel like that would be unnecessary, so I'll end my turn. Shall end our turn and see what my opponents can bring. Very well. Oh, what is this doing? Setting... Oh. It revived itself. Very well. Very well. You've summoned your monster back. What is this doing? Unfortunately, I just set this, so I can't play it. I was really hoping to, but regardless. Alright. Now is it my turn? Okay, now it is your turn. Now you may do what you're trying to do. Go right ahead. Alright. So my opponent has the board. Luckily, he has become unknown, so this monster's effect won't work or anything. Let's see here. I shall activate mine Heraldry Flash. This will target any number of monsters my opponent controls that I wish. They will all become unknown. Granted, he will now use this series' effect to try and oust this in some fancy way, but it won't do him much good. He can target all the face-up cards he wants, but I can't be destroyed by anything. So it really doesn't matter what he does. Doesn't really matter at all. So all of his monsters' effects will be negated. He can't use any of them on the field at the moment. My hope is that he will summon something large and try to use its ability so that I might destroy it. Let's see. So that will bring back his Dingirzu monster. I see. Very well. Let's see. Ah, that will attempt to get rid of my card. I see. Well, no, not quite. I can simply negate that as well. All your monsters will have no names. What heraldry have thee to carry into battle? No, you have nothing. You have many cards, but none of them matter at all. Very well, so now my opponent's lost yet another monster. All of his monsters without names. And I still have my numbers protection trap. So if my opponent does attempt to summon something large and use its abilities, I will be prepared. I'll be quite prepared indeed. And my monster's stronger than all of his, so I'm good in this respect. Let's see. Bringing back another monster, you say? Very well. Very well. Summon forth another. Summon another monster, as you do. I could stop that as well, but I find that this will be fine. But as much as I know, I don't think he has anything that will stop me. See, send a card to the graveyard, draw more cards. See? My opponent is running out of resources. I have stopped his monsters from having name or rank. And more Horus cards. Very well. I suppose we'll give it a shot. We'll use our numbers protection trap here. I don't want to have to deal with the Horus monsters because they can get rid of my monster. So now let's see what else they can do. Because now his monsters have no name. SP Little Knight. I see. Regrettably, that can remove my demolition from the board. That is an unfortunate thing. Quite unfortunate indeed. Unfortunately, now all of his monsters will get their abilities back. That's not quite good. Not quite good at all. Let me think about this. No, that might... I think my opponent has won the resource game, regrettably, but we'll see. Unfortunately, he had several different ways of getting rid of my monster all at the same time. It's a regrettable thing, for certain. But we'll see. No, I don't think that there's much that I'll be able to do, unfortunately. My monsters aren't strong enough to survive his. And I only have my Ice Ryzeal monster left. Suppose it would depend on... Well, I shouldn't give up hope. No. If I can summon forth any of my Ryzeal monsters to my hand in my next draw, I can still do something. I still have an opportunity to, at the very least, call this duel even. Let's call it that. So, I'm not sure what my opponent's doing at the moment. I mean, I would think that they were going to attack at this point, but they haven't. I'm not certain as to why they haven't. Let's see. You can only summon dot monsters, cannot attack directly. Okay, but you have monsters. Do something. Do something, you fool. You still have this creature. Honestly, I think I might still be... Unfortunately, I think I am still defeated. Much as I hate to say, but my training dummy seems to have stalled out for some reason. I mean, we'll see how this is going to go. I mean, I can wait. I don't know if I can call this a win necessarily. If my opponent simply fizzes out like this. But, yes, regrettably, I think this is technically a loss. At least in my own heart it is, because he has the ability to destroy my cards as I summon them. Let's see. Oh no, a Link Monster's effect has to be activated, but yeah, he has the little knight that can do that. No, I think there is still something I could do here. See, if I draw into a Ryzeal monster, I can special summon my Ice Ryzeal monster, and my opponent's time is up. What on earth was that? This training dummy is quite good, but it has bugs to it. So, It's not ready for the field. Marcus and Boars will be so displeased. Those boys are such hard workers. All right, well, we have time for one more, I think. I think one more is justified considering how that one went. And like I said, it could have been a victory, could have been a defeat. It's hard to say. But if I had summoned forth mine Ice Ryzeal and normal summoned another Ryzeal monster, I could have summoned forth mine Detonator monster, destroyed my opponent's Little Knight, and then summoned forth mine Double A Zeus monster in order to wipe out all my opponent's cards. Although, no, wait, I wouldn't be able to do that with Ice Ryzeal, I suppose. So yes, I don't think I was going to be able to win this duel, but it's impossible to say. So let's go for one more and show off this deck one last time. Let's get a proper back and forth here. Well, my lords and ladies, I'm going to do the fourth and final joust of the day. It's been an interesting assortment of duels. We've shown off our combos quite well, summoned forth the 69th monster fairly often. I dueled with a very competent training dummy, which unfortunately stopped working halfway through the game. But now it is time for the final duel of the day. What do we have for a hand? It's an alright hand. I have everything I'd like. My bonfire spell. I have many heraldic beasts, including my Ampus. Well, it's a dragon. I don't need to know its name. It just needs to die. That's all it really needs to do. But we're up against some sort of war zone. I mean, as a proud crusading knight, I have been in many war zones, so I'm quite good with this. So what is my opponent doing here? Okay, here we go. So you'll summon forth a monster to thine hand, sending two other monsters. And this monster will summon... Okay. Some sort of odd-looking dragon of yours. Very well. Tuna and non-tuna. Quite good. A synchro monster on the field. So, let's see. What does this card do? That's a Yang Zin card. What does that do? Don't trap a monster when it's activated. Control a card. Negate and shuffle that card and destroy a Yang Zin card. Fascinating. I assume... Yeah, so this is destroyed, you get another one. Alright. Very well. So this is some sort of Yang Zin deck, I suppose. Very well. Let's see where we go with this. We shall start with our bonfire spell. He has the ability to negate one card. We simply need to discover which card he's willing to stop. That will be the deciding factor of this duel. So we shall summon forth our X Ryzeal and use the effect of both of our cards. Very good, very good. Our Patriarch once again putting in the good work. In the name of the king, as it stands. So let's see. We'll send forth our usual monsters to the graveyard. You pretty much always send the Leo monster and one of your griffins to the graveyard. There's little reason to send anything else, to be honest. But let's go ahead and summon forth our whale to our hand. And we shall go from here. A special summon forth our Sword Ryzeal monster. And that will search us another monster, indeed. Because my opponent does have the one card. He thinks that him having this, I shall be reserved with my plays, but they are quite mistaken. I don't know the meaning of the word reserved. Therefore, I shall summon forth mine Duo Drive. Unfortunately, my monster's smaller than his, otherwise I'd simply attack this creature. But they will finally use their trap card, as one would expect, and that will summon forth another Yang Zing monster from their deck. Which one, we don't know, and okay, that also does something. You might get multiple monsters here. Alright. Very well. So we got two more monsters. And what does this one do? Does the opponent's main phase... Oh, he'll summon forth Herald of the Arclight. Any monster sent from the hand of the main deck to the grave is banished instead. Fascinating! Luckily for me, I don't care. Do you think this scares me? I am a knight of the Curry Kingdom. You're going to have to try a lot harder to scare me. Very well, so you have your Herald. Oh, it can be bested in battle. Also, it negates cards too. Very well. I mean, I have other things I can do here. I'm not done. I'm not quite done. Granted, this will cost me quite a few cards. But I really don't have any other option. I will regrettably, and very much not pleasantly, summon forth my heraldic beast of dragon. And we shall send a card to the graveyard. Because I can still summon forth rank 4 monsters. And I could use my whale here. Same name in the graveyard. Who is in the grave with the same name at the moment? I suppose I have 2 Leos in the graveyard, or yeah, it's 2 Leos in the graveyard. I could do that. I feel that my opponent is attempting to do something large, so I can summon something large in of itself, and we shall end our turn at that. Let's see where this goes from here. We shall see. It's going to be an interesting state of affairs here. My opponent attempted to stop me from doing things, and we shall see what that will bring us. So, you have your pendulum scale monster. Very well. Very well indeed. And let's see. Get your spell. Adding another monster from thine deck to thine hand, I see. Very well. Let's see. Summon 3 monsters with different types. 1 from the deck, 1 from the grave, and 1 from the banishment. Very well. I suppose that would work here. But I only see the one Ryu-Ge monster, and that is this one. So, I'm not certain what they're planning to do. It won't really matter too much. Once I start attacking him with my giant tapir monster, I shall simply wipe the board clean with my AA Zeus. And that should be all that really needs to be done here. Ooh, my griffin monster. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So let us go forth and put our monster to attack mode. Let me think. Well, they'll be in defense mode. I shall summon forth mine whale. That's right. I am not quite done. Okay. Very well. That doesn't stop me from doing this. Okay, very well. Very well. Very well indeed. So let's attack our opponent directly. We shall end with our battle phase, I should say. Summon forth our AA Zeus upon our board. And in this case, if I summon forth my Griffin. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use our monster's ability, remove our materials to wipe clean the board, and we shall activate our Griffin's effect. Yes. So by sending a monster from our deck to the grave, I shall summon forth mine Griffin in defense mode, and I shall activate the effect of mine whale. This way I can summon forth both copies of mine Leo from the graveyard. Very good. And having done that, we shall summon 4. Well, that will negate Sky Thunder, but I think this is just as well. I think this is a better thing to do than anything else. So let us go forth and summon forth our number 69. I suppose I could have simply made Shadow Scream as well. But my reasoning here is that my Leo will be destroyed in the end phase. Or at least at some point it will be destroyed. Doesn't matter when. But Leo will be on the board. If it gets destroyed, I'll get to search another card. That's my reasoning here. So what can my opponent do here? Deep Sea Diva, you say? I think I don't want you to have that. So let's go forth into our Dark Matter Demolition monster once more, and destroy your Diva. I think he might still get a monster, that's true. But I don't think it matters too much. What does it do? It does something. We'll see what exactly that's going to lead to. Let's see. We shall see indeed. Oh? I had a feeling you had something. Very well. What does this do? Go to the main phase. Destroy a monster. Change all monsters to face down defense position. I see. Very clever indeed. But that's fine, because my monster can't be bested in battle. My monster cannot be bested by your Tyrannosaurus creature. It is too powerful. Haha. Did you think I would simply activate this, sir? Not quite. Not quite indeed. Now, granted, you'll simply send Leo to the graveyard, but that's what I wanted you to do. Because now I can add my Stad Whale. Very good. And now what say you? Shall defeat Sky Thunder? Doesn't matter. I am still in complete control of this duel. In complete control. What does this do? Effect of the monster with less attack. This card is activated. Okay. So we can negate my card. Let us activate our monster's effect, actually. So here's my thinking here. I'm going to activate my monster's effect. He will have to get rid of one of his own monsters to negate my card. So, unless this card... It only works with water monsters. Very good. Alright, that worked perfectly. Exactly as I intended. So let's summon forth our demolition back. And let me think here. Unfortunately, that's not an Exceed monster. What will I use to get rid of that? That is the question. If I had my rank up spell, that would work phenomenally. So, in this particular instance, I'll activate my bonfire spell. Indeed. I shall search for my next Ryzeal monster. And that will allow me to get more cards going. I need to thin out my deck with this duel, I feel. I feel like that is the best option. Because if I can do that, I can get into my rank up spell. If I can get into my rank up spell, I can turn this into a larger creature. That is my... Although, that will still have some issues to it. But I still feel that this is the best course of action. Absolutely. Alright, so we'll special summon our Sword Ryzeal monster. Get that upon our board. Activate our Sword Ryzeal's ability. Indeed. Search out another X Ryzeal so I can use my stat whale for it. And then we shall go for... Very well. I mean, I'll still do this. Oh, I can't target your Oh, I can't target this. I see. However, you still did that, so... Aha! Your monster became unknown after all! You messed up your timing, sir, and my sword has found your gut. Very well. So that is how it goes, everyone. We were able to oust our opponent, and I just realized our life points are mutual. We have exactly 8,000 between us. We are like brothers, you and I welcome thee to the Curry Kingdom. You can just have the flag. I don't need to plant it in your back. So that is what our deck does. We are able to confound and confuse the opponent with our monsters, and even if he had flipped my monster's face down, I was going to be able to do at least something. I'm not sure what the something was, but we were going to do something. It would have been amazing. So regardless, that will be it for today. Let us go forth into the end of screen and talk more about this deck here. Gentlemen, my lords and ladies upon the YouTube, today the Heraldic Beast. I would like it if we called this 3 wins and a single loss. For while we did not technically lose to the training dummy that we fought before, I didn't technically win either. It was really that the opponent simply, they turned off for whatever reason. Not entirely sure why, but I have a feeling that they would have won if they hadn't. So I can't necessarily call that a win. But next time we will have them, for certain. But with our deck, we were able to do everything we want to do for the most part. We summoned forth our Heraldic Beast. They won us victory with the 69th monster. I didn't get to summon out this one version of the number 69, unfortunately. But such things are fine. This is more of a card that we play on occasion for the joy of it. So, we were able to summon everything else and annihilate our opponents and stop them from doing what they wanted to do and did the 69 thing, which is apparently humorous. So, thank thee, my lords and ladies, once more for joining us for today's festivities. If thou did enjoy, do not forget to hit the like it button and also to hit the comment button and the subscribe button to join the Curry Kingdom in our conquest of this world. But we shall do it one card game at a time. And I must depart now, my lords and ladies. Thank you for joining me. Oh, but before I forget, because I did forget last time, I need to give the deck profile. This is the cards that we have in our deck. So for our main deck, we've done 3 copies of the heraldic Leo, very good card. 2 copies of this dragon, which I don't like, but it is a monster we can special summon. 1 copy of the Ice Ryzeal monster, very good. 3 copies of the heraldic Griffin monster, which is an amazing card. Allows us to go for many of our combos. You have 3 copies of the Sword of Ryzeal, a noble warrior indeed. 1 Node Ryzeal, which I'm not sure what it is, but it is a monster that we can at least summon. I have the heraldic Unicorn at 1 copy, but it allows me to revive my monsters from my grave if I happen to need them for something. 3 copies of the Stad Whale, where it allows me to search forth my majestic spells. 2 copies of the Summoning Monk, which is a good card, and my hand is full of spells and nothing else. We have 3 copies of the Orcust Ryu-Ge, which is our most important card to search out our other cards. We have 2 copies of the Advanced Heraldry Art to revive our monsters and exceed summon right away. 1 Foolish Burial. If I happen to send a monster to the grave and I need to do so, then here it is, Foolish Burial. 1 Heraldic Reborn to revive my monsters. 2 copies of the Charged Heraldry spell, which, if I happen to have a Ryzeal monster and it was negated or something, I can simply tribute it to summon out 2 Heraldic Beasts from my deck. We have ourselves 3 copies of the Bonfire. We must make sure we are not caught unawares in a night attack. Therefore, the Bonfire is very important. 1 copy of Heraldic Flash, which can make all my monsters have no name, no heraldry themselves. 1 rank up magic, the Quick Chaos, which can rank up my Chaos monster. Very good card for destroying my opponent's cards. So we played it at 1. And we have 1 augmented heraldry spell to protect our monsters on the field from being targeted by spell traps. It can also add other heraldry spells from my deck to the hand if I happen to need them. And 3 copies of our Infinite Impermanence Trap, in case I happen to be going second and I need to stop my opponent's cards. 1 copy of my Ryzeal Plasma Hole, which I'm not sure what that is. What is a plasma hole? I'm not certain, but it destroys things, and that's what we would like to do. And 2 numbered protection. So when I have my number on the board, I can protect it. We have 1 copy of the Baguska monster, 2 copies of our Heraldic Patriarch, very important for our main combination of cards. 1 Heraldic King Genome Heritage, which is some sort of weird deer creature, but if my opponent has an Xyz monster, it's a very good card to have. 1 Eclipse Twins monster for an additional rank 4 that we can summon for. 1 Duo Drive, which is very important for our main combo. 2 copies each of Heraldic Crest, of Shadow Scream, and of the Dark Matter Demolition, because it's always good to have backup. So we have all of our monsters here for dealing with Xyz monsters, monster effects, and making monsters have no name. We have 1 Ryzeal Detonator to destroy my opponent's cards. 1 number C69 to annihilate all my opponent's cards whenever they attack my monsters. And lastly, we have the Double Zeus if I simply need to remove a board from being a problem. Now, as for the side deck cards, there are some things, such as Merological Aggregator, which is not a... it might be a dragon, I can't really tell, the artwork is very strange. But it can negate the monster's effect on the board if I happen to send it to the grave with my Orcust Ryu-Ge. They'll be fine that you need a 3rd card to send to the grave. This is an option. There's also things like the Utopia Warrior monster, very powerful indeed, although since we are locked into rank 4s most of the time, it's not very consistent. There's also other Ryzeal detonators, if you find the need to do that. There's things of F-Zero, the Utopic Draco Future, which I don't approve of because it has the word Draco in the name, therefore it's a dragon-related thing. I can't see its face, but that's because it's hiding its face in shame. So we also have things such as, let's see, we have a Monster Born spell, Heraldic Reborn spell if we need to revive more cards. If you want to make the rank spell more often, there is the Zexal Construction spell as well. So that was today's deck, everyone, my lords and ladies here on the YouTube. Thank you for joining us once again. Tomorrow's day will not feature myself. I must return to the current kingdom briefly, but I will be back before you know it, for it will soon be time for another one of these special weeks of the 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I shall headline, once again, the week dedicated to the fair sex. So that is what we shall be doing there. Until next time, my lords and ladies, I, Sir Memphis, noble knight and into the current kingdom, shall bid thee a good day.